Bourbon. Belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I am Ryan.
I'm Tim.
And this is our podcast. This is where we talk about wrestling. We talk about movies and shows, all of the blockbuster things. And we do it over a beautiful glass of bourbon. And today is a special day, Timmy. Yesterday was a special day, Timmy, but today we're celebrating that special day because yesterday was your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
What number is it? The big
37.
The big 37. Sean Alexander in the house.
I feel it.
Yeah. Well, you probably feel it a little extra after the cash-in video we just filmed.
Yes, indeed.
But you can check that out on our socials. We'll get to that here in a second. We kind of went back to our olden ways of doing the cash in though for today because I got a bottle of bourbon, and this bottle of bourbon is for the Timmy, and it is staying with the Timmy.
Oh yeah.
And it's not one that we've ever talked about before. It's nothing like there's no theme or related content here. It's just a relatively nice bottle of bourbon. Sweet. And I'm hoping it's going to be delicious. And yeah, so we're doing a live reveal here. As you can see, our glasses is empty. So got this bad boy at Total Wine, South Hill, Puyallup. Gots are in the bag still. And the reason I said it wasn't going to fit into the old bourbon in the bank. The fuck? Bourbon in the bank briefcase is because it's in a nice fancy box.
Dang.
Gets rid of that bag.
That is
so
fancy.
We have the McFarland's Reserve, the MR16. So what this is it is a blend of 16-year-old bourbon whiskey and 14-year-old bourbon whiskey finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks for 2 years.
Dang.
It is 90 proof. And yeah, I'm going to give the little blurb here on the back. It is a little long, so stick with me, but I think it's worth it because it's just kind of cool history. In 1791, President George Washington signed the whiskey tax into law and appointed General John Neville as the collector of the revenues. In the summer of 1794, Major James McFarland and his band of whiskey rebels descended on Bower Hill, General Neville's majestic West Pennsylvania estate in protest of the tax. Oh, sorry. There's a comma back there. I missed that. That was one sentence. On the second day of the standoff, a white flag was waved from Neville's mansion, and McFarland, assuming the government had surrendered, stepped out in the open and was shot dead. McFarland's death further radicalized the resistance, inciting additional violent clashes with the government, which ultimately quelled the Whiskey Rebellion in the fall of 1794. McFarland's brave stand, however, is a lasting tribute to American passion and our intimate and storied history with our native spirit. McFarland's Reserve 16 is a blend of 16-year-old bourbon whiskey and 14-year-old bourbon whiskey finished for 2 years in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, the perfect toast to the rebellious spirit.
That would kind of explain the name. It kind of sounds like a gun name.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
A story behind it. I like it.
So I left it in the box so we could get the whole unboxing and everything. I don't even know what the bottle itself looks like because I was saving it all to do live. Shaboom.
Oh, I like it.
There she be. That's a nice looking bottle.
It really is.
I like that. Is there any extra info on here that we should talk about? Nope. Doesn't look like it. We're going to dig in.
Let's do it.
I was wondering if there might be a flavor profile or something. I didn't see it. So we're going to get our own flavor profiles.
I like that it used your word. It used toasted in
it did.
In the description.
It did. Yep. Toasted.
It better taste toasted. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope it does.
I mean, I do too.
Oh, as I said, I got this at Total Wine. Correct me if I'm wrong. This may or may not be the priciest bottle of bourbon we've had on the show. Ticket price was $139.99.
Oh yeah, that takes the cake.
Yeah. Coming out total after the tax at like $170.
Oh yeah, easily.
So, happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate
Well worth it. Oh yeah.
Just a good pour.
We're gonna get all the way up, all the way.
fingers.
It's right there. That's two fingers. We pour Andre the Giant size over here. That's what we do. Come on. There we go. I'll leave her just dead center, looking
right
pretty. I can smell it from here.
I know,
it smells fantastic. Did a little dripple there. Gonna have to Zamboni the table here in a little bit.
All right, man.
Cheers, man. Happy birthday to the 3-7.
Thank you, sir. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Whoa. Holy cow.
I feel like that's like the absolute smoothest bourbon I've ever had.
Yeah. But it has such a kick, like a taste kick that I wasn't expecting. But it's really good. It tastes. Oh god, that could really coat your mouth too.
I did a little
good.
swirl. I did
Yeah.
a swirl and let it sit.
That's good. It has a almost a scotchy aftertaste. I don't know how much scotch you've ever indulged
A
in,
little bit, but yeah, I can see
Nathan's more of the scotch guy, but I feel like this is definitely a bourbon that Nathan would get down on.
that. Yeah.
That is good. It's got that smoky char flavor to it, but it's not like overwhelming.
Yeah. But then the end of it is very sweet.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
And
That's
it's weird. I almost get like,
got the ice. I chilled it a little bit more on that second sip, which was even better when it was cold.
oh yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like almost like a marshmallow flavor at the end almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, like you let it catch fire for a split second and then just popped it in your mouth.
Yeah.
After blowing it out, obviously. Hopefully not putting a flaming marshmallow in your mouth. It'd be like napalm. just fucking just destroy the inside of your
It'd be
mouth.
like those memes where you put
Oh my god,
like,
my mouth's watering.
those like pizza rolls in your mouth,
my
right?
God.
You're just like,
Jesus Christ. That was the most delicious torture parents could ever place upon you as a child.
oh,
You just pull them straight out of the oven, put them on a plate and set them in front of you, or the microwave, whichever one you did, and whichever tickled your fancy. But either way, it was just a pocket of fire, just a delicious pocket
even
of...
if you let it chill,
Just
like
melt
it
your fucking face
just
off.
still on fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 11.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's that good.
I think that's the best bourbon that we have had on here, which I'm really happy about.
Could you imagine?
Took a risk. I took a risk, Tim. Took a risk.
And there was
I balled it out for your birthday, and I was like, I hope it was. This also did have, the cool thing, and I know you've seen it about Total Wine, is they'll have like they have like tags next to certain bottles with like specialty little things or like people's recommendations and stuff. And this had one of the workers who I've actually talked with a couple times.
Yeah.
At the store, it had his picture there and it said it's his favorite. And so I was
Awesome.
like, all right, that's even more so of a reason for me to just be like, all right, I'm gonna pull the trigger on it, because it was between that and another one because the other one had a cool story too. It was about like a 3-time world champion horse, and that's kind of like what it was named after, or
gotcha.
that whole thing. So yeah, and they were the same price actually. So
Okay.
yeah, so I was just kind of like, which one? But I was like, I'm going with this one talks about George fucking Washington.
I know.
In the
It's
story,
kinda-
George Washington's the bad guy because he's the one that imposed the bourbon tax. But whatever, it's still cool history.
It
lesson
really
there.
is. It
So
got a
that
really
was
cool
pretty
story.
sweet.
Followed by a great tasting
Very
bottle.
good. Very good.
I'm really
Yes.
excited about
Yep.
this one.
I'm stoked for it. Hell yeah. Happy you likes it. Once again, happy birthday to you, man.
Thank you. That brings us to our socials. You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok. We are the @TripB Pod. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts, and Blockbusters. And you can shoot us an email at triplebpod619@gmail.com.
Let's get social.
I want to get social.
We're rocking and rolling with another edition of our weekly fact check from the previous week. I got some handfuls of things on here. Most of them are just kind of like clarifications and stuff that we talked about, though. It wasn't a whole lot of just like we said something incorrect. So that was nice. We kept it fairly clean in that regard. So starting it off with... First off, we didn't have anything that I had to write down until we got into the belt section, which was good. Okay. Because I feel like we usually have like a fact check from the previous week's fact check. So son of a bitch. We kept it clean with last week's fact check, so that was good. So I had said it at some point we were talking about like how just kind of the excitement behind the fact that they're putting the triple threat match at WrestleMania as main eventing one of the nights.
Yeah.
And I just kind of threw out, I was like, I'm assuming it's going to be the night that the World Heavyweight Championship match happens. Mm-hmm. And then you said later that you were assuming that John Cena and Cody were going to finish night 2.
Yeah.
Right. And so like we both kind of had that same, like assuming that they are going to main event the same night as the World Heavyweight Championship match. It does sound like that based off this last Monday's promo.
Yeah.
With Cody and Cena, with Cody saying that they're main eventing.
Yeah.
They're ending one of the nights. Right.
Yeah.
So they didn't say which night, but it does sound like that show is going to close, or that match is going to close out tonight, and then the triple threat match is going to close out tonight. So it sounds like we were right in that regard. Nothing official again yet about the card, as we were hoping last week that we would start to get that, which we did start to get more ideas of matches, which was nice, but we just don't know what nights they're happening or what the cards actually look like yet. So, but regardless, El Grande Americano is the big American.
Okay.
It translates to the big American. I said the large American last week. It's the big American, just to clarify that. I also was talking about Drew McIntyre's weight just because of the South of Heaven and onto the windshield with the exploding glass and everything. I was like, dude, he's like 273 pounds. I was really fucking close. He's billed at 275. Okay. So I was really close there. Talked about, it was just kind of like you had, and we kind of clarified it in the moment, but then I just wanted to kind of put a little bit more emphasis behind the actual time frames. But CM Punk leaving, you had said like he had been like, it was like he had been gone for 10 years or whatever, and you were like, well, no, you were saying 10 when he left 10 years ago, and then you're like, well, it was longer than 10 years ago now, but he was gone for 10 years. And so when did he actually leave? He left in January of 2020, or I said 2023. He left in January of 2014.
Okay.
It was right after the Royal Rumble. And he was gone actually a little under 10 years because he returned in November of 23.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah. Talked about the, and of course I didn't put the actual name of the goddamn show that you put down last week, but it was the show.
Oh, Duster.
Yeah. Thank you. I put down all the other information I needed, but I didn't put down what the actual thing was we were talking about. Talked about kind of like the setting and the tone and like the era feel of that show.
Yeah.
And I had said that it felt kind of like it's like a 70s vibe, kind of similar to The Woman of the Hour.
Correct, yeah.
And I had said that like that was set in either the 70s or the 80s, and it was in the 70s. It was set in the 70s. So it does have a very similar tonal vibe.
Yeah.
Said tonal vibe. I think that's pretty much the same thing. But anyways, Alien release date. You had said 1988. You thought?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was 1979 is when the first Alien came out.
Seriously?
Yeah, it came out in 1979.
Damn, that movie's way ahead of its time.
I know. It's insane. It came out a year after Halloween.
I watched Alien recently, and I'm like, this like. For when I thought it was in 80s, I was like, damn, it holds up. But
I know, for sure.
Rewind time back to the 70s. Holy shit.
Goddamn.
Wow.
Continuing with Alien, we talked about Alien Earth and just how we had said that like we didn't know like what we were just talking about how like a show is exciting because you get multiple episodes depending on the runtime of them. It could be, potentially like anywhere between like 2 and 3 movies potentially combined into one season. And I was just curious if there was any information out about the length of the season, the length of episodes, anything like that. I didn't find anything about the length of actual episode run times, but it looks like there's going to be 8 episodes in the first season. That's what I saw when I looked it up. And like I said, I feel like with a drama show like that, you can typically assume it's going to be anywhere from 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
They're typically there because typically like anything shorter than that is left for comedies, like sitcom style, or just like comedy shows are typically like 30 to 40 minutes an episode. Usually dramas are longer.
So, I mean, if you put it at what Hulu's, because I think it's a Hulu Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
What they've been releasing is right around like 55 minutes average,
Okay.
I would say. So 2 episodes is basically a movie. And
Put that
in
hour,
8 episodes.
Hour 40, hour 50, right?
And so you get basically 4 movies worth in there.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we talked about the Marvel casting, like chair reveal, for Doomsday, and how I had kind of questioned because I just didn't see it, and about how like you had said Marvel and RDJ teased that there's more to come.
Yeah.
And then you were like, it was a tweet, but it might not have been real. I'm not sure. It was real. That was like actually a thing. It was like RDJ posted something and Marvel responded to it. And like everything else that I've read is like everywhere saying that like, they tease that there's more to come.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Because again, of all of there's so many characters and so many more that we didn't even talk about that were left out of that.
Yeah.
So, and finally, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm glad it was real because it's so much now is like you can Photoshop and everything.
Yeah.
And I was
for sure.
It's cool that was real.
Yeah.
So.
Everything I read at least
said
or seemed and said that it was like that they actually did that. So, how many episodes are in the Continental? Finally, I said 3, and I was right. There are 3 because it's a mini series. There's 3 episodes in the Continental from the world of John Wick.
Nice.
So
that should be a quick watch.
And it's on. I think I want to recall I might have said it was on Max last week. It's actually on Peacock.
I don't remember you saying Max.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought in my mind, I thought it was on Max. I couldn't remember if I said that or not. But when I was looking this up this morning for this last one, I looked at Max and I was like, what the fuck is it? And then I Googled the Continental. I was like, oh shit, it's Peacock. That's right.
Nice.
So it's on Peacock. So when you do get to watching it, it's on the cock stream.
The cock stream.
And that's all I got, man. That was it. Yeah. That's it for the fact check.
All right.
Kept it fairly clean all around. Not very many actual mistakes on our part. It was really just more questions we kind of had for ourselves in the episode. So,
we were careful with each other.
Yeah, very.
But today we'll be all of a sudden loosey goosey because it's my fact check.
That's typically how it goes. I know you're the one that has to do it, so I just fucking started spewing off random bullshit.
Whatever.
That brings us to belts. Nice.
That was
nice.
Like in sync.
That was beautiful. A little. All right, Timmy. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I got to talk about this first. I was right. Gunther did what I predicted, and he demolished Jimmy right in front of Jay. And holy shit, what a segment that part was.
He not only did what you predicted, but he took it above and beyond, and he way outdid it. Like,
yes.
I just straight up wrote the Jay Gunther promo just got interesting. Like, or the angle here, like that promo made the whole thing just get more interesting. And I think it went farther than what I thought it would have in that moment. And like Lindsay was like, oh, I have to walk away. Like, because of the amount of blood. That was like the most blood they've shown on TV in a long time.
Very long time.
Like that was, if I think the only way that would have gotten any better would have been once Jimmy was already bleeding that much, would have been for him to one more time put the sleeper on it.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow. I mean, dude, there, when he was laying on the mat, you could visibly see there was like a pool of blood that his face was just in. That was insane.
I absolutely loved this segment. It got me. I was like, this is it. This is what this feud needed. I was almost disappointed. The way they booked the match, it was just like a simple, like the same shit we've been getting. I was like, here we go again. I was like, that was not enough of a beatdown. And then you come back from the commercial break, and that's when the real attack went on. I was just like, yes. It was perfect.
Well, and I thought at first too, because I was talking to Lindsay about like what we had talked about and how I was like, this just isn't doing it.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I had talked about how we had said that how many times that Gunther has just sneak attacked Jay, and it's been like the same thing week in and week out. And then even when we came back from the break and he came up from behind and attacked him, and I was just like, fuck, here we go again. It's the same shit. But then it's that switch flipped, and I was like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
This is different. This is new. I like this.
Yes.
This now I went from fuck to instantly like, oh, okay, shit. I'm readjusting how I'm sitting. I'm leaning forward. I was like, fuck, he's fucking Jimmy up.
He did exactly what I wanted.
And it made Jimmy look good too.
Yes.
Because of, it wasn't just a beatdown. It was like one thing here, and then Gunther gets up in Jay's face, and then here comes Jimmy fucking just fighting back into the ring, right? Climbing back in, dragging himself back in, because he's like, this ain't over. And then he gets hit with something else, and he does it again, and then it's finally the end, you know?
Yeah.
It helped him look still like a valiant opponent in that regard as well, and not just squashing Jimmy. And I also don't know that this attack was necessarily enough to take Jimmy off of television either.
True. Very
you know
true.
what I mean? So like they may have found a really good fucking like middle ground to what to what you were saying, what I was saying last week that I was worried about with them doing that.
Yeah.
They may have been able to find a good, you know.
And then just my closing part on this was just, if you could freeze frame just two shots, was like Gunther holding the sleeper hold. He looked like Hannibal Lecter. It was like a scene out of The Silence of the Lamb, just blood from the face down on, and he's just like choking out, and just watching Jay watch it all was crazy. And then when he finally stood up and just like torso covered in blood, it was gruesome. It was everything. Now, Jay cannot come out yeeting on Monday. It has to be like,
we haven't really gotten that.
No, I agree, but
recently either though.
But it needs to be like, if his music does hit, it needs to be like Roman Reigns walkout last night, where it was no pausing, just straight to the ring.
Yeah.
Call out Gunther and just go blow for blow. Like, don't even let there be talking. It just needs to be physical now.
Part of me hopes that it's more of a backstage. I don't want Jay to come to the ring on Monday. I think it needs to be he's like swallowing, like he's swallowed up in his own mentals and his own self-doubt now, and the fact that he's his own guilt for feeling like he just got his brother killed type thing. Like, somebody comes try to interview him in the back, and he fucking just goes off or something. Like, and we see a snap almost.
Yeah.
I think that would be more beneficial to the whole storyline and everything, and push towards these final 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Than him coming out to the ring and just having another go blow for blow. Cause like we've seen that already. That's happened multiple times now. I think they could continue to build this and propel this forward without even having them confront each other face to face between now and WrestleMania potentially. Like they have the ability to do that now with what took place this last Monday.
Yeah.
You could build story without the physicality here, and that might actually be more impactful.
Yeah. I just want to see the serious side of Jay now, for like when Sammy first betrayed the bloodline, that serious Jay during that build up, and that would be perfect. This was the moment I needed for this feud, and if done right, could be just perfect from here on out.
They just got to keep playing the cards right.
Yep.
No.
100%. That's what it needed. Yes.
Yep. I am going to go to the promo from this Monday that I skipped over last Monday, and that is Cody and Cena. And this promo was fucking fire.
Oh, yes, it was.
So fucking good, dude. Like, them,
Both
like,
of them.
finally, they actually went back and forth on the mic, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is shining on the microphone, arguably more than he ever has in this moment, because of who he's against. And he has to, because you're arguably going against the best to ever do it on the microphone. You know what I mean? Like, and we also finally did get the Rock call out there. Not a lot came from that. There wasn't much of anything said about it, but it was finally at least mentioned. Yeah, it was acknowledged that it was a thing that had happened. They're doing a really good job of actually making this feel personal. Mm-hmm. And like making this out to feel like these two actually fucking are like hating each other, and that Cena is actually turning. And I don't know, it started to Raw gain traction this week.
Oh yeah,
Raw 100% gained traction this week from almost start to finish in multiple different areas, and it was another one where I was like, fuck, we're starting with it again. This is
Cody cutting him off before was the perfect touch.
We got week 3 of Cena starting the show, you know. I was like, God damn it. But then I was like, oh, all right, I'm good with this. This is fucking awesome. And like I said, the back and forth, and then Cody's final, not once have they ever chanted, "You can't wrestle." And then the fucking video package of that from Monday on SmackDown last night was almost better than it was live. Yeah. Because then they were throwing in all of the old school footage of both of them over the years, and Cody fucking in the black suit walking out back in the day, and all of the different times Cena has been chanted against "You can't wrestle." Like, that video package was fucking just as fire as the goddamn actual live promo was on Monday. Yeah. It got me so hyped all over again. I was like, fuck yeah. So, I was just like, oh, man, dude, it was dope.
I couldn't agree more. It was just another step in the right direction for the feud, and Cena came out guns a-blazing. Dude. He didn't completely bury Cody like he's done in the past to like Roman Reigns. Like when Cena goes on the mic, you can feel it, and he definitely did it this time. But Cody definitely held his own for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's never been in this position.
No,
right? He's never been in the position to where he is the one on the mic against the biggest babyface.
Sure.
Because he's always been the biggest babyface. Even when he did go against Roman, which he absolutely fucking battered and deep fried on the fucking microphone. That was, oh my lord. That's one of the worst roasts ever. Yeah. In the ring on the mic. And outside of him fucking calling The Rock out for having lines written on his fucking wrist. Like, god damn, he's so good. But he's never been in this position, and I don't honestly know that he could outdo Cody or bury Cody, because Cody is what John was 20 years ago. 15 years ago.
I would give Cena the slight edge in this promo off, but like, it's such a thin margin. like, yes, the "you can't wrestle" was a big jab, but just like the taking billions from a billionaire's kid was like a roast line about AEW and everything, and it was just, I don't know, it just hit right.
Yeah.
Everything felt good. The only part missing is just more, where does The Rock fit into this all? But this promo kind of takes, like, it could be done without Rock now. Like, it
absolutely.
sucks that that's part of it. Like, unless they do something in the next couple weeks, it's like, what was the point of that? But this promo did enough to get me just fully invested in this feud.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I was just like, fuck, this is so good.
I know.
It's so good. It was amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
All right, that brings up Rio and Io main event.
Rio and Io.
Rhea and Io. Not
Rio and Io.
Rio's in AEW. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky main event with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. The match was super good.
Yeah.
It was a toasted ass match. It was good. I liked the involvement of Bianca Belair more so than I thought I was, especially when it was announced last week. Yeah. But then the ending kind of takes me away from it just because it ends in a no contest, and we think we know where they're leaning, but how does... The only way you can add Rhea to the match is if Io and Bianca agree to it. Like, they already got a match set in place, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, would they have to agree to it? Can Pierce add her to the match? Like, what?
Well, yeah, Pierce can just add her to the match.
Why would he?
The way that it would have made sense for it to go would have been for it to end in a no contest, but not the way that it did.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense for Bianca to get fed up and Bianca just lay both of them out as the special guest referee, and then walk away.
Yeah.
And then then you could justify Adam Pierce making the decision to be like, listen, you guys can't figure this out. We're settling it at WrestleMania in a triple threat match for the title.
Yeah.
Then it'd be like, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But even with that, it's like, it didn't make that much sense because she should have DQ'd Rhea immediately.
Yeah.
Because Rhea straight up hit her.
Yeah.
Right? But then she didn't, and then the Io Rhea gets out of the way in the Io kick.
But that one was clearly on accident.
Rhea was not. But that's what I'm saying is then it was like, then you have the accidental thing, and then it goes in, and then she gets knocked back out of the ring or whatever, and then she's like, you know what? No, it's over. Call this. It was just kind of like, fell flat.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted something more to get Rhea, like, why Rhea should be added to this match. Mm. And it almost felt like Rhea is like, said, like, the way her tone was like, I'm not going to WrestleMania. Like, this was my shot. That's how it felt. Like, yes, she was the last woman standing, but it just felt like she's pissed off because that was her chance. So I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes, but like, I think what you said would make it the best way to add her to the match. Now it's just, now I'm curious.
Yeah, now there's that. I feel like there's now more questions than we got answers from the whole thing, and it's like there's only 2 Raws left before Mania, so you're running out of time to now push this well and build it well enough, Mm-hmm. You don't want to do it the Monday before WrestleMania and be like, oh no, so it's going to be a triple threat match, right? Like, you want there to be like that happens, and then there's a little bit of build, which... I mean, I guess you could still accomplish if it happens this Monday.
I mean, at least there's been stuff brewing with them. That's the good thing. It's just, like I said last week, it's just, I rather know the card and know exactly where everything is building when you're this close to WrestleMania. Like,
and I feel like we usually do.
Yeah.
Don't we? Like, or is that just like,
maybe
like
not
a recency bias type thing? Like, we just feel like we usually do. I feel like we usually do know it by now. We're fucking less than 3 weeks from the grandest stage of them all. And I feel like we usually do know what the card, at least what the matches are going to be. Not necessarily what the cards each night are going to be and like that type of thing. But like, we at least have an idea of what those feuds are fully established going into it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we don't know this early. It's weird to say this early when you're less than 2 weeks away from the show, but
that's true.
I don't know.
No, I feel like you usually typically do, but I could be wrong.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit farther on this coming Monday, I guess.
Yep.
That is bringing me over to SmackDown, and Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair promo was once again, it's just proving the point of what we said last week, and it's the fact that there is absolutely no legitimate purpose or valid reasoning behind anything but having Tiffany Stratton win at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This promo buried Charlotte almost fully. The fans buried Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
They did not let her talk to the point where like they fully went off script. Like I've read a bunch of different articles today about how like everything, like rumors and everything that they're hearing from backstage was that was not the way that was supposed to go, and that they ended up improvising the majority of that because the fans were so against Charlotte. You can't have Charlotte win this fucking match.
No.
And Tiffany's, and then even to have like Charlotte throw out the Kaiser barb right at the very end didn't even land.
No.
Because as she's saying that, Tiffany didn't even fucking react to it. She just threw the belt up and just walked backwards away. Like, it didn't land at all. Like, she couldn't get a word out. Tiffany Stratton is fucking on fire, dude.
Yeah, I would say yes, she is on fire, but it felt weird her taking those personal jabs like right out the gate. Like, yes, there's been a few things.
But that's all Charlotte's done to her.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's that weird, because that's literally since she picked Tiffany, that's all Charlotte's done is just personally gone at Tiffany about all of her, like how she's just want to be her type thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all just been personal. And Tiffany Stratton hasn't had the fucking chance to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. It felt out of place because she's supposed to be the good guy in this, and there wasn't anything. And it's probably because of the crowd that nothing like kind of volleyed it up for her to just throw. This is where the fans can kind of take it too far. Like, I kind of wanted to see where this went, but also it's the fans saying we don't want Charlotte.
Exactly. And that's why I think it was perfect. And that's why I liked the promo so much, was because it was the epitome of this being a real life product and this being an ever evolving thing.
Yeah.
And the fan base hopefully showing the higher ups at WWE like, hey, we don't want Charlotte in this position. We don't want her to be champion. We don't want this. Tiffany Stratton is the future. She is what is needed, and this is how it needs to go. And I mean, if there isn't a better goddamn way of showing that than literally silencing the person with a microphone in the ring, is fucking crazy, man. Like, they were booing louder than Dom.
Oh yeah.
And them booing Dirty Dom is not because they actually don't like Dirty Dom. They're booing Dirty Dom because of because of the character of Dirty Dom.
Yeah.
Right? That is not the case for Charlotte.
Yeah.
They're not booing Charlotte because, oh, she's a heel, we have to boo the heel.
I mean, they were just booing her from the get-go.
They boo Dom because it's a gimmick. Right? It's been this thing that has just caught on, and it just caught fire, and they lean into it. You could tell Charlotte was fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she was fuming.
I mean, you would have to be to do
absolutely.
The promo that she did, like, Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, my God.
Like, when she went to that, I was like,
so bad.
I was like, okay, she's like legit pissed.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Charlotte like that. Like, usually
you don't really see her rattled. I will give her that.
Yeah.
And she was lost.
Oh yeah.
She didn't know what to do. And then, and that's, here's another fucking testament to Tiffany and her character right now, and her just development and her growth and just her evolving. she fucking took it and ran with it in stride, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't knock her off at all. She fucking just leaned into it and fed into it, and you know what I mean? Like, it could have been very easy for them both to get thrown off because they're not doing the promo that was rehearsed and talked about.
Yeah.
It fucked Charlotte up. Tiffany fucking was just, boom, in stride, just fell straight into it. And the thing about, like what you said, how it felt kind of out of place because she's supposed to be the face and all this. She only recently became a face.
True.
She won the championship as a heel.
Yeah.
She literally
made behind her.
She made that change in the moment of hitting that fucking moonsault and winning the title from Nia.
True.
You know what I
Very
mean?
true.
Like,
Yes.
she was a heel the entire way up to that 3 count.
Yeah.
Right? So
I agree.
that's why I kind of like it, because she isn't the John Cena babyface of yesteryear. She is Tiffany Stratton. That's who she is. She is like, she doesn't give a fuck. You know, she's more of, and this is a very, very loose comparison, but to the comparison I just made of Cena, she is more Stone Cold-esque. Yeah. In like she's more rebellious type of character, right? Like she's not gonna just, wash my hands and I'm all clean and hi, I'm your champion, you know, like she'll get dirty to win. Yeah. You know, and like she's shown that and she's proven that. So now I don't know. I liked it.
No, I definitely liked it just because it was a new thing. It was just like I said,
it was real.
Yeah,
That's
it felt real,
like.
and you never seen Charlotte get this rattled. And I mean, even Tiffany had to be. I mean, like, she was holding her championship upside down when she was posing it at the end of the ramp. So it kind of got under her skin. But I hope the overall thing is like they got to the back and was like kind of got out of hand. Let's be professional. Like, I hope there's not any unprofessionalism when it comes to the match at Mania, because it's gonna be a banger of a match.
Yeah. I did read that the divorce barb that Tiffany threw. I read a couple different things that it was like that type of thing would not have gone over without clearance.
Okay, good.
Right? Yeah. That wouldn't have happened without that being like an okayed thing. And so I was just like, okay, well, that's at least good to know that Tiffany Stratton didn't just throw this fucking super personal, actual real life fucking quip out there without you know. Way Cena called out The Rock, because that was not planned. Yeah. He did that on a whim. Yeah. He took a big swing. Luckily for him, it landed.
So I just hope that they're professional. Like if there is any bad blood, that they just keep it professional in the ring is all I'm hoping for, because it can still be a really good match.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the thing is, if anything, that didn't go the way they wanted it to or they had planned to. But that's not a bad thing. Yeah. I think, if anything, this just added more to it. Like, it just added more fuel to the fire for their feud and their rivalry leading into WrestleMania. So, like, in a way, like, no, it didn't go over the way you wanted it to, but I think it got over.
Yeah, people are talking all about it.
People are talking all about it. The entire fan base was going crazy about it.
We weren't excited about this feud.
No, we weren't talking about it at all.
We're talking about it
how annoyed we were, right? Yeah. So, like I said last week, this, depending on how everything else goes in these next couple weeks, this rivalry actually has the potential to be the hottest championship rivalry of the 4 main titles at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, the John Cena Cody Rhodes kind of put it down a pedestal.
I agree.
But what you were saying,
is what I was saying. 100%. Like, it could be, depending on how they go. Yeah. Now, yes, I think that one just, and the Gunther J just, so, but this one has been, you know, it's been like a steady boil where like those two just fucking caught fire. Yeah. Right.
So now they got to just finally do that for Rhea.
Because that one's still just Bianca. On a simmer. That one's on a simmer.
We got to come to a boil.
Yeah, we got to get that one boiling, ripping and roaring.
All right.
What else do you got?
I got KO. Is this legit? I mean, everything I've read is it's legit. But I could see, in my heart, I still want it to be a swerve. Like,
Yeah, like,
But-
does Orton somehow get himself another match at Mania, and then KO comes out and fucking costs him? You know what I mean?
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Yeah, everything I've read is that like everything everybody has said backstage is that it's literally just like nothing but sympathy and sadness for KO, and that they're talking about like a future fusion in which, you know, years put in like
when
multiple
did this
times.
happen? Like, was
He
it?
said he's been wrestling with the neck injury for. He said it in the promo.
Yeah.
He's been wrestling with it for months, for like 4 or 5 months now.
So why aren't they doing anything medical before then and setting up this match? Like,
know.
I don't know. It
does seem weird. The whole promo. I was like, this isn't real.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I felt that same way. And then I started reading stuff, and I was like, fuck, maybe this is real. I don't know.
Like when like usually you let the person saying they're going away just be solo. And,
but then
Randy comes out, and
which was kind of a weird moment too, because like he didn't even say anything. He just RKO's Aldis and leaves.
Yeah.
Right, like it was kind of an all around just.
It was a weird
feel,
and I kept on going. All right, he's gonna come behind him and attack him.
Like it's not over.
Yeah,
there's more.
I thought he was pulling the Mark Henry retirement on me, but no, I mean. Like you said, everything I'm reading is it's real, which sucks because that was just like one solid feud brewing, and everything. Sure. And so, where does this leave Randy for WrestleMania? Is it an open challenge? Is he gonna face Aldis? Is he gonna face?
Yeah, and also it's like it's weird because of the two matches, like KO's last two matches. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the last matches he performed in were the ladder match against Cody and then the 2 out of 3 against Sammy. Wasn't that what it was? Or
no, it was just the like, it's a non-sanctioned match.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The unsanctioned match. I think those were the last 2 matches that we saw KO in. And, you know, outside of, like, maybe live shows and stuff. I don't know. Or house shows, I meant. But it's just weird having those 2 be the last ones, which were both within the last 2 months. And then he said that he's been dealing with this for like 4 or 5 months. So it's like, okay, but so they, with a potential neck injury, they let him take that fucking ladder spot
slam through the ladder,
right? Like that, or some of the other fucking spots that he took in the match against Sammy, right? Like
that's why I feel like it's still a swerve.
I'm like, I don't know if this could be true.
Yeah.
Because it would just be weird then. It's like, okay, because he hasn't fucking done or taken anything really since the match with Sammy.
Yeah.
That would have been like crazy impactful, right? He took an RKO.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 2. I don't remember. But it's just weird that it's like, okay, so he went through those 2 matches fine, but he can't go into a normal match against Randy at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the part that
now somewhere in the last 2 weeks, all of a sudden this is ramped up.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is confusing. It is weird. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. I'm like, it can't be true. But then yeah. So if it is a swerve, props to you, because like you're doing everything in its right way to say it is real.
Yeah. And it has us talking about it, and it's going to be fuck, they did it, they got us type of thing.
But otherwise, if it is real, I'm sorry for KO, and sorry for Randy.
For sure.
It's just unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah. My final thing, because literally every talking point we've had are the 5 that I had. So every talking point I've had, we've talked about back and forth now. So my final one is the favor.
Yep.
That's the final thing.
That's what I got.
And the favor was, I kind of had a feeling of what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if it was going to be just like in his corner at WrestleMania or like what that history there was, but I had a feeling it was going to be something to do with Punk wants Heyman back, and is like on his side.
Yeah.
And that I loved that whole segment. I thought it was awesome. It was great. The one thing I wish they would have done different would have been having Punk wait until Roman is actually about to do something to Heyman, not just backing him in the corner.
Yeah.
Like I wish like Roman would have like turned and then gone for like a Superman punch or something, and then had Punk intercept.
Yeah.
You know, like have him jump and then have Punk catch him into a GTS or something. Like, would have been just a cool way to go about it. But all in all, it was a good segment. It sets up more history. It once again, though, continues to kind of alienate Rollins out of all of this. Like, he's just there as kind of the walking clown emoji.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's just a part of this. And I think part of that is just to like have him be in a part of WrestleMania, you know?
Yeah.
Which it's kind of how it was last year too. Like he was just kind of there as a part of the WrestleMania. He was thrown into the Rock and Roman and Cody storyline, and he's kind of just feels like he's thrown into this. Like it seems like they keep running out of creative ideas for him going towards WrestleMania.
Yeah.
To a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which is a bummer because he is so fucking good, but it's also like kind of over his character right now at the same time, with just like he's been this crybaby whiny bitch for the last 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden last night on SmackDown he's just like he like went and hung out with Aaron Rodgers and did some ayahuasca and just fucking he's this just chill, happy, relaxed dude again. It's just like, what the fuck? So it just kind of seemed weird to me. But
I think there's more to it. I was almost a little underwhelmed by the favor at first. And then the more I thought about it, it was just like, I mean, what more could it have been? Heyman doesn't have any authority.
Yeah.
Like he's just the wise man. And then I was like last week, a bunch of promos, like old ones popped up, and Heyman's like, one day I'm going to walk you down the aisle for WrestleMania. The only thing that's missing is he doesn't have the title. You know, that's the only part missing from that promo, but it's just like, there's a lot of history between Punk and Heyman, and this feeds into it, and it just makes the most sense. Absolutely. And you almost don't want the favor to be just something crazy, outlandish.
No,
right?
I love that this was the favor because it's also like, at this point, Roman's entire empire has been destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? It's literally just him now. He has no he has no, bloodline. He has none of that. It's just him. Mm-hmm. What does he have left?
Yeah.
He has his wise man.
Yeah.
And Punk's taking that from him
for a big WrestleMania match. So
it's like it's one of those like, insult to injury type thing. Yeah. Like not only did Punk, because the whole thing is like Roman's like, Punk's in the main event because of me, and it's like, Punk used your ass, right? Like to a point, like Punk fucking used you to get himself into the main event of WrestleMania, and now he's taking your wise man for the match.
And this is where I feel like this segment set up Seth Rollins better, in my opinion, is just Seth Rollins has been saying, you've been underestimating Punk this whole time.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
This moment really just paints the picture.
Yeah,
like
that is fair. That is fair. That is a very good point.
I mean, I still think he's the odd man out. I think the favor would have been more impactful if it was just a one-on-one match. But it does prove Seth's point right, and he used him to get to the main event and get his wise man. So it was an awesome segment for sure, and really enjoyed this week in wrestling. I think it did a lot for the WrestleMania card, minus what is Randy and this KO thing. That's
and what are they going to replace that with?
Yeah.
Is I'm hoping that's not what they're going to replace. Like they're not. That's why they're just throwing together this randomness of fucking women's tag team 6-pack. Lyra and Bailey are all of a sudden a tag team going for the number one. What the fuck?
But isn't she defending the IC title against her Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Monday.
Yeah,
that's happening. But then next week in Seattle, SmackDown, we're doing a gauntlet tag team match.
Yeah, it's just weird.
And they're legitimately the only tag team I could see winning out of that gauntlet.
Are Lyra and Bailey?
Yeah.
I know, which is even more annoying.
Yeah.
Because they're not a tag team. This is the shit that that they had gotten away from, even outside of Mellow Don't Miz, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like throwing, which we haven't even seen them in action together. Maybe once.
No.
No, it was Miz in a singles match when they came out together. Yeah, so we haven't even seen them wrestle together. But so outside of that, it's like we've kind of did away with just partnering random people together for the last couple months, which was nice. We had like a good growth in the tag team division, at least in the men's side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's the part where
I forgot that there were women's tag champions. Honestly.
Yeah. I agree. I
completely forgot.
But this is the danger I was talking about last week, where you don't set up a card. Now it's just like, yeah, we have a handful of matches, but now you're going to be putting together just run it like last second things where there's no feud in between, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Liv and Raquel are the women's tag team champions.
I know. Yeah, I forgot. That's what I was saying.
When you were just saying that, I was just like, who are they?
Yeah, it's Liv and Raquel. Yeah. I don't know why this is even like a honorable mention or runner up to our what do you want to talk about, but I just want to throw it out that I was right in my hopes that the last man standing match would lead to a WrestleMania IC match or US title match, and Jacob Fatu did win.
Fatu needs to win at Mania.
Fatu's got to, and as much as I love LA Knight, Fatu's got to take home that gold. And
but I think it's a good opponent for Fatu to win it from.
Yeah, and I hope that it happens. I hope that the other part of my prophecy does come true, and that this is also like the match where the Jacob turn on Solo and Tama happens.
Yeah.
And it just completely separates him from the bullshit and could start a feud between them even once he has the title and now Solo wants the title, and like you could actually have a legit feud there and have that be good TV and good matches and whatnot, and just continue to prop up.
I think that's a good honorable mention.
Jacob. Because then what if eventually it led to fucking United States champion Jacob Fatu against Intercontinental champion Braun Breaker in a champion versus champion match? Doesn't have to be for a title, like for both titles, but just like, I just want to see them one-on-one, dude. They're two of the best fucking wrestlers in the WWE right now. They're so good. So
they
it would be
on
such
that
a
one
good
Raw.
match. They did. I know.
And the crowd went crazy for the face
my
off.
dick got hard, so that's for sure. And that's nothing gay. It's nothing gay. That's just pure testosterone and love of the game. A little bit of gay, but that's it. All right, Tim, that brings us to our banger of the week. What you got for us?
The Gunther attack on Jimmy. It was everything I wanted. Like I said, the final shots of Gunther bloody. It's what this feud needed, and it got me excited again. It was perfect. It was so perfect, and I don't think you could have done it any better.
Yeah. I love this because this is kind of a testament to the way the WWE works with the ebbs and the flows of everything in the creative, because it's literally like your banger of the week and my banger of the week are both two things that just last week we were both kind of like, fuck, I don't know. Mm-hmm. You know, and now this week we're like, fuck yeah, let's go. And like that's the beauty of this sport and the entertainment value behind it and being a fan of it, and that's why we do this, right? That's the whole point behind this.
That's why we keep watching. It keeps us invested.
Yeah, exactly. And mine's the Cena Cody promo because it was everything that I thought it was missing.
Yeah.
And it was really tough between that and the Jay Gunther Jimmy, but just without and the fact that we didn't even mention this, Cena took a bump.
Yep.
which I think was huge because we had just been saying last week, like, we need to get
physical.
him. We said he needs to wrestle. We need him in matches, that type of thing, or at least interfering or something. But I'm happy it didn't end with him just doing the walkout again.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like 3 weeks in a row of just that. It's just been like, fuck, you know? And so it ends with him, you know, starting the walkout, and then he comes back at it, and Cody reverses it into a fucking picture perfect crossroads.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Cena fucking took it beautifully, which he, you know, one of his probably biggest critiques over his career has been his inability to smoothly take some bumps.
Yeah, for sure.
Rock bottoms and power bombs specifically. Is always fucking bracing for shit. He took the crossroads like a fucking champ.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was mine. Was that whole promo was beautiful. I thought it was great. It was very well done. They fucking just spit fire back and forth, and it was just, like we said, it was both those things needed a fucking shot in the veins, and they fucking got it right there. And it was no better time than 3 weeks before, you know, 2.5 weeks, whatever you want to say, before the show. So
100%.
Alrighty, Timmy. Belt's question of the week. You did this one. What do you got for us?
This one, and you know, it's funny. I went to a work meeting, and there was a guest speaker, and they're like, "What's your walkout song?" And all I could think about was
That's
like
funny.
theme song, and
Yeah.
and I was like, well, we never talked about we've talked about our wrestling characters that we've come up with, but we never gave them theme songs. So,
Yeah.
what would your theme song be for Jester?
This was a fucking tough question, because I'm thinking like originally just dwindling things down, right? I'm just thinking of like fire songs, like banger songs that would be like good out the gate, catchy shit, like things that we've talked about in the past, like not like today's current landscape of fucking theme songs, right? Like old school theme songs that like hit right, like punch you in the fucking mouth right out the gate.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, you got to also think, because it's not just the song playing, right? You got to think of, I took it a little bit farther to try to start thinking of like songs that you could like edit certain parts together to make the theme song. Do you know, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Right? And originally I was kind of leaning towards Dig by Mudvayne.
Okay.
And again, you got to think Jester has got the paint, he's got the kind of clown theme to him, a little more like, in my mind, I picture the character of him and Kilroy and RT Red, all of them just kind of more on like the grungy kind of darker side of things. And so I went with Dig by Mudvayne originally, but I changed it.
Okay.
I'm just going to play it.
I it's funny. I have
you have it queued?
I have my song queued as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to play it. And it's not necessarily that whole portion, right?
Yeah.
But I think I push my fingers into my... And then it could edit to another part of the song where it goes harder into.
Yeah.
But I think like, you know, it's like those moments where it's like that fucking pop.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think like, you get the, ooh, so... if you smell, like those things, right?
Time to play the game.
Yeah. CM
and then it
Punk's
goes
even
hard.
just the yeah, right? And then it just goes into Cult of Personality. Like, there's those things. I think the whisper part of the beginning of that song would be such a fucking dope.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to just hit quietly.
Yeah.
And then it's boom, go. Like, I was like, oh yeah. And I fucking love Slipknot. They're one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I've seen them live like 6 times, and
That's awesome.
that's one of my favorite songs of theirs. So I was just like, oh yeah, that's what I'm going with, because I think it has the emotion, it has the draw, kind of gritty, like fucking let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that's a good one too. I like, because I've had songs that I was like, oh, this is what I want as my theme, but then I kept thinking more, I kind of want like more impactful song and everything. Follow-up question: if you could steal anybody's theme song, current, like, not, it doesn't have to be current, but and if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But if you could steal anyone's theme song that a current wrestler used, what would it be?
Steal a theme song for a current wrestler.
Not
I feel
current,
like that's
like anybody's theme song.
Just any
across,
theme song.
Yeah.
An established theme song.
Yes.
That's hard because I feel like theme songs are so attached to characters.
That's true.
That's a far more difficult question to answer. And so this probably wouldn't be specifically for my character of Jester.
Yeah.
But oh god damn, dude, that's so fucking tough. I gotta go between Stone Cold's and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Which are almost polar opposites.
They're
of theme
like
songs.
very opposite songs.
But it's just like, and part of that too is again a little bit of there's bias in there just because of they're so iconic.
Yes.
Right. But also just like they're two that you picture some of the most iconic theme songs, but also iconic in the sense of somebody's in the middle of a promo and then the theme song hits and it's just like the type thing. That like I picture Stone Cold. Obviously, you picture the ding of the Undertaker, but that's a fucking its own goddamn its own fucking echelon of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I picture like Shawn Michaels fucking hitting and you're just like, what? Like fucking Shawn's here. You think of the couple times that Shawn Michaels made his fucking like triumphant returns from injuries and addiction and stuff like that. Like their theme songs are just so fucking fire. So those are probably the two that just off the top with not having any any pre-idea of you asking me that question. No. Those are probably the two. That I would
just
go
because
with.
I did list one that I would steal. So
okay.
So the theme song that I would want for RT Red.
Don't tell me what it is. I want you to play the goddamn thing.
Okay. All right.
Do what I did.
Well, then I'm just gonna mention my honorable mentions that I thought about. "Got the Life" by Korn, and I've actually used that as my theme song at one event me and Alex did.
Yeah.
And then "No More Sorrow" by Linkin Park.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of take out the words maybe and just have the beat to it because it's solid.
I feel like that would be very Jeff Hardy-esque if you took the words out to it.
Yeah.
It would have just like that kind of vibe to it.
But the song that I ultimately went with is there it is right there.
Fuck yeah. Is that Dragula by Rob Zombie? Let's go. Oh, yeah. That's fucking awesome.
And this could be the build up to going out. And then I walk out.
Yeah. And that's a good, just like, if you were to just use that, like as it is without like editing pieces together or whatever, that in and of itself is like, yeah. No, I like that. That's fucking awesome.
And I was just like thinking about everybody's theme song, like, especially your main eventers. The songs have auras, and like Dragula has an aura to that song. Duality has a aura to the song. So I think those are just great choices.
Do you know "Dig" by Mudvayne? Yeah. So this is like that intro right there. I was like, oh,
even that does too.
I know. But then there is one more because you said two runner-ups, so
I
didn't have this one primed, but this is one, and this is from oh fuck, you're gonna have to probably.
I
don't know. You might. Your brain works like this. You might just be able to tell me which video game it was, but I want to say it was one of these two. I want to say it was this one. Okay. I want to say it was "Shut Your Mouth," but.
That's a good one.
That was one that definitely popped up on my list originally. I was like, oh, and that's one that I've always kind of thought of because I loved just like I'm pretty sure I probably set that because this might have been one of the first games where they had like create an entrance for your character.
Gotcha.
Maybe
I don't know that part.
We don't necessarily have to, even if you don't want to add to it, but because that's not a vital thing. But I want to say that I used that song.
That's awesome.
As that, but there were a couple of the games. I don't remember which ones it was, and this is not. You do not have to fact check this because that'd probably be hard. But there were a couple of the games that specifically when they got to like Xbox, whenever, I'm sure most of these were all on Xbox too, but that you could download like a song to your Xbox.
Yeah.
You know, like you could put music onto your Xbox and then you could use that in the game as your created character's intro.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could have been that. I could have ended up using it for that. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking question, dude.
Yeah.
Like straight up. There's one last piece that I wanted to add to this, and it was just the kind of vibe to the song, that duality of what I did pick was, and like I pictured the entrance, and I picked, because I always pictured with our characters, right, and Kilroy with Nathan, that I was probably, and just kind of makes sense, I think, out of the three of us, that I'm the more unhinged, crazy motherfucker.
Yep.
I would agree. I think it makes sense. So I kind of just like pictured the entrance with it, and it was like, it starts, and then as the music's playing and kind of building, a fucking like cell is rising.
Oh,
and I'm cool. In it in like a straitjacket.
Yeah.
And then as the music hits, I like kick the door open and like rip out of the straitjacket type thing, and then down to the ring. That was kind of the idea that I had for it, but
yeah. The theme song I would steal is This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, CM Punk's theme song before Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
It's a fire-ass song.
I gotta fucking hear that again, because I honestly don't even remember that. What was it again?
This Fire Burns, Killswitch Engage.
Yep.
Yep.
Right there.
It goes hard.
God damn. You know, it would be really fucking cool. We obviously have the weight goal to get Triple B custom title belts, right? That's still the thing.
Yep.
I think another goal of ours, I don't know what we would attach this to, or just in general, but I think a goal should be to one day like film create our own, with the songs that we just picked, entrance themes with like video package.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be so fucking
that'd
dope.
Be awesome.
That would be so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like painted up everything to fucking do that. That would be so dope.
That would be really cool. Oh, we got to do that.
We got to do it. We got to.
I think that was a good question.
I think that was
we got into deep conversation.
Yes, that was
there.
fucking awesome, dude. I loved that. That was a great job. That was absolutely wonderful. That now brings us to Blockbusters. Dabbed on them. All right. Got a few things on here that we're going to talk about. I put most of the main actual talking points down,
yes,
I believe. So, first one up, we got the movie. It is called Fountain of Youth. The synopsis for this is: two estranged siblings who partner on a global heist to find the mythological Fountain of Youth. They must use their knowledge of history to follow clues on an epic adventure that will change their lives and possibly lead to immortality. The cast is John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, and Isa Gonzalez. I went to another line. Domhnall Gleeson and Stanley Tucci are all in this. The release date for it is May 23rd of this year, which, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that's Memorial Day weekend.
And that
I believe.
That'd just be fitting.
And it'll be out on Apple TV Plus, just dropping banger after banger after banger after banger. The fucking trailer for this looks fucking awesome. Yeah. It has huge, like, come on.
National treasure.
Thank you. It really feels like it has National Treasure vibes, but also kind of mixed with Uncharted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, I kind of was just like, but it's also, because, like, Uncharted had, like, kind of a little bit of comedic side to it, and this you can definitely tell it has that kind of tone to it.
Absolutely.
Where, like, I know there was some in National Treasure, but that wasn't, like, the
tone.
Yeah, exactly.
For, yeah.
Like, there were moments of comedy in those, but those were more definitely, like, just straightforward action, mystery, type movies. I don't know. It looked great to me. I watched a trailer for it and I was like, oh fuck yeah, this just like I'm excited to watch this, and the cast is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what'd you think of it?
I agree with you. I instantly thought of just National Treasure movies, Da Vinci Code, or
Da Vinci Code was the other one that it was also popping in my mind when I was trying to just remember National Treasure.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember Da Vinci. I couldn't remember the names of them, but I could picture the characters.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, what are they?
I love these kind of movies where it's just you're following one clue after another, have an end goal to find, and action along the way. John Krasinski proved he can do it with like Reacher or Jack
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Yes.
Yeah. Reacher's Alan Richardson.
Yeah. But he got the action chops to it. Natalie Portman's great, and so really excited for this one.
I love Stanley Tucci too.
Oh yeah.
Stanley Tucci is an absolutely phenomenal actor, and so I forget necessarily the role he plays in this, but I feel like it's like some sort of mentor to them in some role or capacity. But he is phenomenal in everything he's fucking in.
Absolutely.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And so just like, I'm excited for this.
I'm really excited for this. This is going to be a fun, like, just summer blockbuster movie.
Absolutely.
Really, really excited for that one.
Next thing up, we have Neighborhood Watch. This movie, holy shit, it looks wild. Synopsis for this is, in the film, Simon, a young man grappling with mental illness, becomes convinced that he has witnessed an abduction. When he reports it to the police and they refuse to believe him, he reluctantly seeks the help of his neighbor Ed, a jaded, retired security guard with his own troubled past. As the unlikely duo delves deeper into the mystery, their pursuit of the truth forces them to confront not only the dark secrets surrounding the disappearance, but also the unspoken wounds that haunt them both. The cast is Jack Quaid and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The release date is April 25th, 2025. That is this month. And it will be out in theaters and also video on demand. So, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, for those of you who may not know who this fantastic, absolute beauty of an actor is, played Negan in The Walking Dead. Arguably one of the greatest TV show villains of all fucking time. Yep. That character revived that show. Because it was like kind of dead in the water in between the governor, essentially, and then Negan showing up, which was a couple of seasons, I believe. So Negan showing up like revived that show to what it ended up being fully throughout the rest of its run. And he is phenomenal. I've seen him in a handful of other things. He's absolutely great. Jack Quaid obviously is the son of Dennis Quaid, and he is in The Boys. He is in Companion, Scream. He's in Novocaine coming out, that just came out. I believe it's out right now.
He's on a roll right now.
He is, dude.
He's in everything.
He's in everything. He's putting shit out, and goddamn. He was one that we never really talked about this, but he was one that I had kind of personally fan cast that I thought would have been a perfect Johnny Storm.
Oh yeah.
I love Joseph Quinn though too, so I'm happy that for that. But anyways, getting a little bit off track there. This trailer looks wild. Just I think the visual depiction of whatever the mental illness that he is dealing with him, like I'm assuming it's some form of schizophrenia maybe or something where he's like hallucinating things, right? Where he looks down at his own wrist at one point in the trailer and he sees like bugs or whatever moving inside his skin crawling. Yeah. Like that type of thing is just like, fuck, dude. But then I like the idea of like somebody that's struggling with that also now on like a fucking crusade to find the truth and answers to this thing. Like I think it's just such a good idea for a film. So what do you think?
I thought the same thing. It's got a little like indie film vibe to it, but it feels big. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just a cool guy. Like he oozes coolness when he's on screen. Yeah, he does. And just everything he's in. He's Seattle local, so he's a big fan of the Hawks. So I love that about it. But yeah, the trailer looks great. I like that they're putting this mental illness into it where it could have such a big part on this plot, and I'm sure it will.
Going to, yeah,
and so
for sure.
But it got the perfect balance of comedy in the trailer and then action and everything. So really excited about this.
And like with the mental illness part too, because there's like such a huge real life part to this too, where it and which is really tough, you know, because it really kind of is, at least in the trailer from what we've seen, depicts like a guy with mental illness going and trying to report something to the police.
And they don't take it seriously.
That's a very real life thing. Like that could very easily happen. It has happened, I'm sure, on countless occasions.
Yeah.
Where like this person actually saw something. You see a homeless person has a really bad drug addiction, see somebody get kidnapped or murdered. I'm sure they've gone to the police and tried to report it. And who's going to take that serious?
Exactly.
You know, So it is like a real thing, and so I think it's a really I think it's a cool take on something in a way to like kind of put that into the forefront of things, even if it's a brief undertone. It's still just like it's there, and I think it's a cool way for them to turn art into life. Yeah, you know,
100% agree.
So, finally for the movies portion of Blockbusters, we have The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
For those of you unaware, The Naked Gun was originally, I believe, a trilogy.
I believe so.
I believe it was a trilogy with Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin, a absolutely just unhinged, off the chain kind of detective that just very unorthodox is probably the best way to put that. It's fucking hilarious movies back in, I don't know the decade, so I'm not going to try to throw it out there, but you know, they're older movies and they're just, watch them. They're fantastic for especially the time that they were, like they're amazing. But the synopsis for this is a sequel essentially, right, to the originals. So only one man has the particular set of skills, which I love that they put that in here,
Awesome.
to lead police squad and save the world. Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr. follows his father's footsteps in The Naked Gun. All right, I guess that's pretty much the end of the actual full synopsis. But it is directed by Akiva Schaffer, who is known from writing on SNL. He directed Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. He is a member of The Lonely Island. And and it's from producer Seth MacFarlane, who created Ted and also the amazing fucking world-renowned Family Guy. Joining the cast are Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Durand, CCH Pounder, Liza Koshy, Eddie Yu, and Danny Houston. Liam Neeson plays the son, right, of the dearly departed Frank Drebin. He is Frank Drebin Jr. Liam, which I love even more because it's Liam Neeson and the original was played by Leslie Nielsen, so their names. Sorry, I need to close out of Spotify. My watch hit my knee and it started playing CM Punk's old theme song, Timmy's soon-to-be new theme song.
I'm coming out.
There we go. Timmy, you're in. Go. But yeah, anyway, so I just thought that it was just funny because it's like the names are so, like the actual actors' names are so close.
Yeah.
The trailer looks funny. It's like, it was short. It was a short little clip of the trailer, but it looks hilarious. It looks just like the perfect tone of the originals.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I like, because Leslie Nielsen is like, yes, he's known for his comedy, but when you look at him, he looks like he's in serious roles.
Yeah.
And then
like Airplane.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it was perfect. Like, yeah.
And then we know Liam Neeson to have comedy chops, and this
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yes,
right?
This fits perfectly into that. So I like that it's doing that. The biggest thing about this is just like it shows a picture of OJ. We're getting back to edgy comedy, and that's an exciting thing.
Well, it showed the picture of OJ, and then it jumped to the dude. So it was the trailer is like all of these guys that are like paying honor to their fathers before them, who are police officers who have passed away, right? Yeah. And then it shows the picture of OJ Simpson, and then it cuts to the guy that's supposed to be his kid. He looks at the camera and he's like, It's so good, and I love it. It was so good,
the
man.
perfect.
And let's not skim over this. This perfectly God, I'm just all over it. Perfectly cohesives all of our shit together here, Timmy. Yep. Cody Rhodes is in this.
That's true.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful, and I'm so excited for this movie. My goal for the April binge cap is going to be to watch the original Naked Gun movies.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Brings us over to Fred. We had no series this week. There wasn't a whole lot of new information that we got out for a lot of series this week, so we haven't got nothing for that. So we're jumping into Fred, which is our follow-up rumors and early developments. Follow-up to a couple things here. We got a new trailer for it. Was not even necessarily a trailer. This is like a full, this is like a 5-minute scene from the new Superman movie coming out by James Gunn's DCU. And yeah, so it dropped at CinemaCon over this last week, and it was gave you a pretty good glimpse into some of kind of the tone of the movie and what you're going to get a little bit out of it. So
yeah, I agree. I think Superman or James Gunn does a good balance of adding comedy and action and blending them really well together. And right out the gate,
Guardians
you get
of the Galaxy are phenomenal. But yeah, right out the gate in this,
you got a fucking dog jumping all it, and I could not relate any more than
Superman crash lands into his home Earth, his home planet, right? Which
I think it's Earth because his.
Never mind. Yeah, it's Earth. Fortress of Solitude is on Earth. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Crash lands onto wherever he's at, and he's out in the snow and ice. It looks like he's on a glacier, essentially.
Bruised up,
bleeding. And you could tell he's just beat to shit. And then here comes the
Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto the dog.
Just bouncing all over him.
Beating the ever-living shit out of him even more. Just jumping. And he's like, stop!
I could only think about Quinn jumping on all of us.
I know. Fudge, too. Fudge does not as much now, but he used to do the same shit when he was younger.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you get that comedy to it, and then he gets dragged into his Fortress Solitude. Very beautiful shot, I thought.
Oh my lord!
Just of it coming out,
amazing.
And then you just get the robots kind of having some comedy banter going on, and then he jumps into the rest of the trailer. A lot of some familiar footage that we've already seen, but a couple new scenes, and thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I thought it was. I think I've said it on here a few times. Superman's like one of my least favorite superheroes. I've always just thought the character is just boring because he's so not boring. If that makes sense, right? Like he has everything. He can do everything. Only a rock is his weakness, right? Like I'm just like, okay. Like you got a little too much going on. There's not a whole lot of depth to the character typically, right? And this made me stoked to watch this, and each of the things I'm seeing, and it's visually awesome. And so I've always watched them, and I'm not gonna not watch them. But this made me excited to see this
for sure. So. Agreed.
Next thing, and this I have a qualm. I hate that shit about CinemaCon gets reported on, but things aren't actually posted. To see. That's so fucking annoying to me. Like, not everybody can go to fucking CinemaCon, so post the trailers that you drop at CinemaCon online, like they did the Superman one.
Yeah.
They dropped that long video at CinemaCon, and then they put it online for everyone to see. And I'm sure these will come online, but do it immediately. Yeah. Put it out so that we can fucking see it too. Because they dropped a new Fantastic Four: The First Steps trailer. but we don't have any access to it yet, which is horseshit. However, things that have been reported on it are apparently Sue Storm is confirmed to be pregnant in the trailer.
Gotcha.
They like actually apparently say it, and you like see like Johnny congratulating her, and then you see like Reed saying like we'll protect you, and then they like talk about like as a family we'll do this together as a family, stuff like that. So yeah. So that's just what I read about what was shown on the trailer that we have yet to get to see.
Do we think it's like throughout the entirety of the movie, or is that just a part of the movie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be just a part of it. And I also feel like she's a superhero. Is her pregnancy a normal pregnancy? Like, could it be a quick pregnancy? You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
It could. So a lot of all those things are kind of up in the air. I don't know, but I can't imagine that she's going to be pregnant the entire movie.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like with knowing the comic books and what we've talked about a little bit here before, Franklin Richards, their son, has like a huge multiversal, can mess with the multiverse. Yeah. Like, that's some of his powers, and that Galactus sees him as a gigantic threat. Yeah. And so like, I feel like that's definitely
got to play
the storyline that they're probably leaning towards here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which would also make sense to lead towards, Doomsday and Secret Wars and the multiverse finale and all of that. So
exactly.
Yeah. This is real quick, but I just read this, and I was excited for this because I love these movies also. But officially happening. It's been in the works for years, but apparently I saw a thing. Well, this is actually like posted all over the place, but then I also read an interview with Mike Epps saying that like, he got the call from Ice Cube. They're making another Friday movie.
How nice.
It's titled Last Friday. And that Ice Cube and Mike Epps are for sure back, and assumingly Chris Tucker will also be back to reprise his role as well. And Mike Epps said that like they're gonna get a bunch of like the new comics and like up and coming guys involved in this as well. So it's not just gonna be the OGs; it's gonna be like them with the new guys, and it's gonna be fantastic.
That's awesome.
I'm excited for this. I love all three of the original Friday, next Friday, Friday after next movies. So they're just fucking hilarious, and they're great.
I have not seen any of the Friday movies, so kind of like you with the Naked Gun, I'm gonna challenge myself to watch those movies over.
Have you seen the Naked Gun movies?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. So
okay, well, you should challenge yourself with those too.
but
you should watch those as well. You got through the whole Final Destination franchise
and John Wick
and John Wick. Yeah, so you can watch those 6 movies.
Yeah, we still got a bit of time for April, but I've seen a lot of clips from these. I know a lot of what happens in the movies for sure. So Ice Cube and Mike Epps are great. So it's gonna
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, and Chris Tucker too. So can only be good things.
Yep.
All right. I post something for once. John Wick universe. This was also announced over CinemaCon, but Lionsgate announced the universe is growing. John Wick 5 is confirmed.
No shit.
Keanu Reeves is returning along with
I didn't know if that was going to happen.
Everyone. There's going to be an animated prequel. They didn't say if it was a movie or series. I saw both, but it's going to be an animated one. And then there's also a spin-off movie coming in the form of Kane. So we got Ballerina, we got Kane. Kane was the guy that dueled with him at the end of John Wick 4. He's the blind guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So,
interesting.
So John Wick is growing, and I thought it was just fitting because
dope.
I finished the 4 movies just last week, and
awesome.
Then this gets announced, and so
hell yeah.
I don't get to be left on this big cliffhanger of the end of the movie where it could have been the end of the series.
Yeah.
But the universe is.
I had no idea. That's so exciting.
That's continuing on. And then next up, just wanted to list off some highlights that I read about from CinemaCon 2025, like new Resident Evil movie. The director is Coogler, who did Barbarian. So really excited about that. Yeah. Resident Evil deserves a good movie. I enjoyed the rest of them, but would love a new
Ryan
take on
Coogler,
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Who also did Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And who's doing Sinners?
Yep. Sinners. Yep.
Yep. We got Predator Badlands, which is the movie following Prey, and this is more of Predator being a good guy, is what I read, where someone's trying to help Predator escape something. So
Interesting. Okay.
like that.
Like that spin on it.
We got a release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Finally, it's kind of been put on
Still
hold
over 2 years.
but it's
away.
still it's a ways out. But
God damn.
it says June 4th, 2027.
Why is there such a fucking break in between the second and third?
There was just I read that there was just a big they rushed number 2 the Across the Spider-Verse, and there's a lot of animation going on, and so that put a strain on them, and they were pretty upset about that. So I think they're just taking their time with this one.
Damn, that's wild. I did not think it was going to be that far out. I mean,
Yeah.
the Across the Spider-Verse came out
Last year, or no, the year before.
Came out like late 23, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a ways.
It's going to be pushing 4 years. That's intense.
Yeah. We also got the title of the Spider-Man 4, which is Brand New Day, Brave New World, Captain America. We got 3, brand new day for Spider-Man 4. Funny enough, this comes out July 31st, a week after Tom Holland's other movie, The Odyssey. So,
which is also, oddly enough, it's going to be interesting to see when this lies in MCU timeline.
oh yeah,
Because this is also 2 months after Doomsday.
true. Yeah.
So it's going to be so it's kind of interesting that it's like Doomsday. This is going to be the next MCU movie that comes out after Doomsday, and it's titled Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, that's
Doomsday
true.
and then Brand New Day. So
Oh yeah, I didn't even
kind
think
of
of that.
interesting to see just like where this is going to lie.
Yeah.
Storyline wise and timeline wise.
Yeah. We got the official name for the Now You See Me sequel. It's Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Yep.
We got a live action Zelda movie coming out. We got Jordan
Interesting.
Peele's next project, Him, and it has
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans in it, and it's like a horror take on sports.
It's Marlon, right? Not Sean.
No, yeah, it's Marlon.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Horror take on football.
Yep.
Which I'm fucking here for.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
We got Megan 2.0 trailer. You just watched this.
Yep.
My opinion on it, it feels very Terminator 2, because Terminator was
Yeah.
Megan's the villain.
Yep.
And then this is more Megan being a good guy-ish.
Yeah,
And
like
that's
a
kind of what this gives me
Anti-hero
vibes.
kind of. Yeah.
And I just love Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It
know.
Again song.
That
playing.
was so fucking awesome. I loved that.
I love when they put these pop songs into like
Turn it
horror.
into like a horror style version of the song too. Like it was super. I really liked that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just, I Know What You Did Last Summer. They released some footage and the crowd went crazy for Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. when they appeared on screen. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that's
Naturally.
coming out this summer.
Yep.
I'm so excited for that movie.
I know. Me too. That might be a summer bro date.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, that's what I got for CinemaCon 2025. We got the Triple B Memoriam toast.
We do. And this one hits.
Yeah.
This one hits hard.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we lost Val Kilmer. He died on 4/1, which is, I almost didn't want to post this just because I feel like his death has been posted a lot around April Fool's Day and it not being actual.
Oh.
And then I Googled it and it was for sure like everyone was releasing it. And I was just
everyone's releasing it, and you're like so many people that were close to him posting about it. Like
Yes.
actually, yeah. So
yeah, died of age
Yep.
65. Was it to throat cancer that he died?
he was battled throat
Yes.
cancer for
Yeah.
over 10 years now. So I'm assuming it was complications of that.
Yeah.
That was everything. I'm not assuming. That was everything that I had read was essentially he lost the battle.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why he didn't speak in Top Gun
Top
2.
Gun, yeah.
Right. Like, well, he very briefly spoke.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
But it was just, it's it's just sad. You know, we literally just watched them not too long ago in that movie.
Lost an icon.
Batman Forever.
Batman, Iceman. You know, like he's
Jim Morrison. The Doors. Heat. You name it. He's just in iconic movies, and this is just one of those ones where it's like, oh, I'm a big fan of his.
Absolutely. Hard not to be.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. And everything you read about anybody that knew him was he was an even better person. So.
Exactly. Cheers to him.
Cheers to him. Brings us to Block Buzzin'. Again, segment where we tackle a movie, or it could be a show, but we've typically done movies for Block Buzzin' that have garnered a lot of buzz. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, honestly, that currently over the last couple, month or so, that there's a movie that has garnered much more buzz than Wicked.
Yep.
I mean, it was nominated for 10 Oscars. It won 2 Oscars, which... I forget the actual names of them that they won, but it was like something to do with like costumes and like cinematography type those types of categories. Mm-hmm. Fucking completely makes sense. To me.
It does.
But yeah, so we watched it. We're gonna talk about it here shortly, and I mean, right now, what did you think of it, dude?
I actually really liked it. It's a long ass movie,
almost 3 hours. Yeah,
I did not know that going into it, but
same.
But literally, you told me what we're watching. I watched it same day or the following day. It was really close right after you announced what we're going to be watching, and it started off a little slow for me, and I was just like, oh, okay. But then there was like the school dance scene, and that's really where it took off for me. Yeah. Visually breathtaking. It was beautiful shot movie, special effects, you name it, everything looked great. The story was great. I don't have any history on the book or the play, so I didn't know a lot about it, but the songs were good. The conclusion of the movie was phenomenal, and really excited for the part 2. I didn't even know there was a part 2 until because I purchased the movie and it doesn't say part 1 on there, but then when the title comes, it says part 1. I was like, whew, we got another part to this. So I'm ready for the next part, and I think they even released some footage at CinemaCon for it as well. I'm excited. This movie was really good. It was really, really done well. Yeah.
I like that it started, which was kind of that slower start, but I like that it, like the opening sequence to the movie is the end of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Right? Like it's when the Wicked Witch is dead and Glinda announces to Munchkinland that the Wicked Witch is gone, right? And then it jumps you all the way back to this turning into a prequel. And I had no idea about the book, the play. Like, I know very little about any of this, so it was very interesting to me to see this all from like the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West being a good person, and almost everyone else in it being villainous.
Yeah,
to a point, right?
I think that's I was like, it was slow, but it was just like the bullying part. I'm not a huge fan of bullies, and you could definitely just feel that vibe. But I agree.
Yeah, sorry, but I think they also did a good job of. I think there's a societal context there, right? That they were definitely hitting on. Is that like how common and often the whole bullying thing happens and whatnot. I'm a teacher, right? I see that shit all the time, unfortunately, and I hate that. So I think that was what actually pulled me into it more, was like watching this and the way that it was navigated and all of that. It, like you said, it was visually stunning. That I said that like straight out the gate to Lindsay. I was like, oh my God, this fucking beautiful, like this is gorgeous. And so it was a masterpiece in that. The costumes, everything throughout it was all fantastic. I love musicals in general. Like, typically there's not typically ones where I watch that I'm not a huge fan of. There's been some, but for the most part I really enjoy them. Lainey loved this.
Oh, good.
The first part of it that she got to watch, me and Lindsay finished it in bed another night, but the parts where Lainey was watching, she's just sitting there like, because it's just so colorful and the music and just everything, like it fully gripped her too. So it was all around. I thought it was fantastic. I think they're both those two actresses, Ariana Grande and I forget the actress's name, but the one that plays the Wicked Witch, they're both fantastic. Their voices are phenomenal. And the way it ended, I thought was perfect. It was a perfect setup for the second part.
I'm like,
so
that's it. I need more. And that was after watching a 3-hour movie.
It felt, exactly, right? And it felt like, now we watched it in 2 parts, but it felt like a play. Like it did. It felt like a play, and that's intermission, and then we're going to get the second half. Right? So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was phenomenal. Definitely like fully understand the buzz around it. And yeah, I'd like definitely highly recommend watching this film.
Yeah. I 100% agree. It was really good.
All right. Finally brings us to our Blockbusters question of the week. I posed this. I said, in the vein of our Buzzin segment, is there a non-musical movie or show of any genre that's not a musical, but that you would be interested in seeing turned into a musical?
Yeah, there is.
All right. What do you got?
Spoiler, I'm spoiling part of my binge cap because I watched the movie Hard Eyes, the slasher movie that took place in Seattle. I feel like that movie could be turned into a musical. And why I say that is because the movie itself did a really good job of being its own thing. It really leaned into the slasher campiness to it, but it also was like leaning into the rom-com side of things. It felt like watching a horror rom-com.
Yeah.
And then I could just picture it being a musical. Now, on top of that, you keep the campiness, the rom-com to it. You just add some music to it. I think it would be the complete package.
Damn. All right. I need to watch that.
I highly recommend it. I was excited for it. And then watching the movie, it was just like, it's well done. I thought it's not going to be like the best horror movie, but it definitely did what it sought out to do, I thought, and I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Awesome. I like that. That's good. And it's actually kind of in the same vein as my answer, because I don't have a specific project.
Okay.
I just said, like, honestly, any serial killer / slasher type horror thing like that. I really had the idea of like the actual serial, like Happy Face, like the serial killer documentary type, those people that you do those movies and shows and stuff on, turned into a musical. Now obviously that's a little probably in ill taste to do like an actual person that legitimately actually killed real life people.
Yeah.
But that type of character.
Yeah.
Like do a fictionalized version of a character like that and turn it into a musical from their perspective, I thought would be really fucking cool. It would almost be Joker-esque.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Definitely.
That was what I thought. I thought it would be
kind
cool.
Of in each other's heads.
Yeah, very, very much in the same vein there, for sure.
Yeah.
So, fuck yeah, man.
All right, man.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's fucking go.